Hello there folks, my name is Robin Nichols, and in this little Photoshop Elements video we're going to have a look at, well, we're going to look at the cookie cutter tool. And in case you don't know what a cookie cutter is, I've just googled it. This is just a random web page, and you can see there's a chef here pressing a cookie cutter into some already rolled out yummy looking sort of chocolate gingerbread, I suspect, something of that nature. Anyway, that's looking pretty good. And once you've done that, of course, you peel it out, put it onto a baking tray, bake it and eat it. Fantastic. So the cookie cutter in Photoshop Elements is very similar. Don't get it confused with this little fella here, the custom shape tool. So for example, the custom shape tool, funnily enough, comes with a whole range of custom shapes, such as these edges. And I really like these because I can double click on one and I can basically drag it across the image like this. And when I let go, the idea is I want to break up the edges of this rectilinear shape, this rectangle, which is my photo. But the problem is with the custom shape tool is that then it goes and creates its own vector shape on the top layer, and that makes it a little bit awkward. Essentially, it's not very good. It's not the cookie cutter tool. So I'm just going to undo that last action and go in search of the cookie cutter tool. When you think about it, when we look at the analogy of the gingerbread man here, the cookie cutter tool is actually a cropping tool. So if we go down to the modification section of the toolbar there, you can see there's the crop tool and there's the cookie cutter to its right. So very nice little tool it is too. And again, here are my crop shapes. Let's just double click on any one of these. I'm going to click and drag. Actually, I don't like that crop shape at all, but you can see it's a nice rough edge. When I let go, what it does is chop whatever is on the outside of this delineation completely off. Bang, it disappears. And it replaces it with something that looks suspiciously like a checkered tablecloth. The checkered pattern means there's nothing there. There are no pixels there at all. Let's click OK on that. So it means there's nothing there. So the idea being is then I can save this, for example, as a PNG file instead of a JPEG, Photoshop or TIFF. And then I can import this, for example, into a digital picture book. Most digital picture book software will only accept JPEGs and PNG files. They won't accept, of course, RAW files because they're useless. They won't accept TIFF files or Photoshop files. They have to be JPEGs or PNG files. And the beauty of this is, if I save this as a JPEG, let me just show you. If I save this as a JPEG, what will happen is the JPEG will then flatten those layers together, and I will go to the layer menu here and choose Flatten Image, and you can see it's replaced by white. So let's say I've chosen a light grey paper colour, or maybe even a black page colour, so that when I drag this onto my bookmaking software, it's going to come in with, you guessed it, a horrible white border. And that's not the point, really. I want transparency. So if I save this as a .png file, it's going to come in with the ragged edge, because you will not see the checkerboard and you will not see the rectangle. You'll only see the rough edge that I created with the cookie cutter. Let's just choose another cookie cutter to emphasize the roughness of this. I really like this. Look how rough this is. Wow. I have to be a little bit careful with this because I've composed this picture very, very carefully, and of course when I let go I'm going to lose half that ocean stack there, little mountain sticking out the ocean. But you get the idea. It's a fairly impressive tool and is specifically designed for things like saving as PNG files for putting into either a print so that you've got a nice ragged edge or an irregular shaped edge, because let's face it, photography is all about rectangles, isn't it? So this is breaking out of that mold literally by using the cookie cutter mold.